Let's talk about a bacteria that scares me. Botulism. So botulism is the bacteria Clostridium botulinum, and it can be found in lots of foods, and it's scary. So botulism is commonly found in types of foods that are preserved-ish, but non-acidic. So it doesn't like acid, it prefers neutral or basic pH, but it can be found in a lot of canned and preserved foods. This is not to scare you off of those foods because it can be kind of obvious if it's in there. Often when canned foods contains botulism, they are swollen or bulging weirdly, and you wouldn't want to eat it anyway. So you can kind of tell if your preserved or canned food contains botulism if the container is leaking, swollen, or bulging or foaming weirdly. You don't want to eat it regardless, but that's kind of how you can tell. If you are unsure if the food is still good, don't eat it just to be safe. So the botulism bacteria produces specific toxins that affect the nervous system. So they attack your nerves, and they can cause things like muscle paralysis because your muscles are no longer receiving signals from your nerves. And in some cases can even lead to death via respiratory failure because your lungs are no longer receiving signals to let them know that you need to breathe. So your lungs stop working, and so you die from respiratory failure. Fun times. Often if you have botulism, even if you don't die from respiratory failure, it can lead to long-lasting and or permanent paralysis due to your muscles no longer receiving signals from your nerves because your nerves aren't working anymore either. So surely this bacteria is not used anywhere because it's scary, right? No, it's used in Botox. You know, I don't even really know what it is. Cosmetic whatever. Botox. Botox, like the word, actually stands for botulinum toxin. Botox. So that's where that comes from. And it uses the botulinum toxin extracted from the botulinum bacteria, and it gets injected into your face. Basically, Botox reduces wrinkles and creases and stuff and makes you look younger, which is a whole other beauty industry problem. What if aging is natural, get over it. But basically, it gets rid of signs of aging by paralyzing your facial muscles. For example, you get forehead wrinkles because you move your forehead. So in order to stop moving your forehead, they inject the Botox, which paralyzes your forehead muscles so it no longer moves and no longer creates wrinkles. And so when people get a ton of fucking Botox, all the time, then you can see that because their face just doesn't move because the facial muscles are paralyzed in order to avoid aging. And the fun part of Botox treatments is rarely, so not often, but rarely, and it can happen, you can get paralyzed because if the treatment goes wrong and the Botox so if the toxin goes places it shouldn't, or if you use too much, or if it runs rampant, you can get full facial paralysis and even up to full body paralysis from botched Botox treatments. Now, I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just saying, me personally, I'm scared of botulism, so I will not be getting Botox. Ever, probably. I don't care that much about aging, and I would prefer to avoid even a little bit of paralysis. But anyway, that is how botulism and Botox work.